What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. There's a ton of champions currently available in League of Legends, and the variety between the champions in each one's gameplay, design, and lore is really just so immense, and there's such a wide variety of unique and interesting characters, and you can really tell that the champion design team are creative and just brimming with all sorts of inspiration and ideas. And while there's been a ton of successful champions, there is of course almost an equally infinite amount of ideas for new champions to be had. And I gotta say, it's super cool to take a look at some of the champions that rioters have maybe expressed interest in, because it does give kind of a little bit of insight into potential champions that, hey, could maybe even get added to the game in the future. Riot Meddler himself even once said that the thematic possibilities for new champions in the game are pretty much endless, but I don't think I can make an endless video, so here are some champions that rioters themselves have expressed desire in wanting to make for the game. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it or let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe for some more videos. Riot Meddler himself, the lead gameplay designer on League of Legends right now, had a really interesting concept for a new champion which actually revolved around a hidden power. He commented on the idea of having a champion that's kind of just a simple peasant, but then who also has a really awesome power that the champion themselves are actually unaware of. The champion maybe enters the battle fighting with his fists and really being not particularly powerful or impressive, and discovers a hidden power as the game goes on. It could definitely be really fun to play, but it might be pretty hard behind the scenes creating a champion like that, and having the gameplay stay engaging and unique after a bunch of games on it would definitely be something that would take a lot of time to fully flesh out and would definitely require a ton of playtesting. Despite that though, this champion concept definitely sounds really interesting, and honestly I gotta say it's super cool and unique, and I definitely love to see it fully fleshed out at some point in the future. And hey, I mean, if Riot Meddler wants it, then that's something that could definitely happen in the future. Now, while some champion ideas are completely new and unique, some are definitely going to be inspired or perhaps theory crafted by previous existing champs, either in maybe their design or in how their gameplay works. Some champion kits are so unique that you wouldn't think it would make sense to make a champion with a similar kit. However, one rioter wants to change that. Riot champion designer Squad 5 wants a new champion similar to one of his other previous creations, Ivern. In a Q&A, he talked about the potential of a new Ivern-like or Ivern kind of style champion, something with similar mechanics, and he said that the key is to make sure that the new champion is using the mechanics in a unique way and bringing something special to the game. Ivern's kit is definitely one of the most unique kits in the game, and I'd be really interested to see how they would make a new champion with the same sort of core mechanics, but taking it just far enough in a different direction as to not really feel like it's similar at all. Hopefully we see this champion come out of the woodwork at some point. It's something that he mentioned he was definitely interested in, so we can maybe really see how it works in the future. For our next one, we're actually taking a blast back to the past. Now, League of Legends has plenty of sword-wielding champions. We've got Yasuo, Master Yi, Garen, of course the list goes on, but besides Shen, who obviously doesn't count because he was released before this comment was made, I think we're yet to see a champion with two swords. But back in 2010, Riot Ezreal was working on a champion exactly like this, a double-bladed samurai to be exact. But besides the fact that this champion was in development at one point and then cancelled later on, there's very little to gather about this idea really. It'd definitely be really interesting to see what the two swords would do and how Riot Ezreal would have implemented them back into this champion's kit. But we can't give up hope yet, because according to Riot Ezreal, I quote, "he may come back someday." So I guess we can only wait and see. Moving on, I gotta say, there's a lot of variety when it comes to weapons that champions in League of Legends use, from swords to staffs to mechanical hands. If you can think it, there's probably a champion that uses one, but there are a lot of swords in League of Legends, and there's plenty of other weapons that could be used in really creative ways, like a ball and chain. In a Q&A from way back in 2010, Riot Ezreal said that he wanted to make a short-range ball and chain champion in the future. Well, that future was 2 years later, and Sejuani was released with a ball and chain in hand. Now, while Riot Ezreal didn't actually work on Sejuani himself, his dream did come to fruition, but we've yet to see a medium or long-range ball and chain champion in the game, and I think that definitely sounds like a really awesome idea, and Riot Ezreal definitely was interested in it. With the teaser for a chain-based champion in the most recent champion roadmap, maybe this is something we've been waiting for or could actually happen in the near future. We'll have to wait and see what Riot have in store for us. It's always really cool to see creative people in the League of Legends community creating their own champion ideas, and we've made a ton of videos showcasing some of the coolest and craziest champion concepts from the community, but it's even cooler to see rioters themselves acknowledge some of those efforts. In a forum post from 2013, League of Legends user Altruiza suggested a Librarian champion. This concept was fully fleshed out with a name, gameplay, lore, and just about everything you could think of. And I gotta say, it's a really awesome concept. Riot Ezreal obviously thought so as well, revealing that Riot had concepted a similar paper-themed mage at the time. During the concept phase, they went through multiple different versions of the champion with different kits. It started off as someone who could manipulate words using paper to create various effects, which actually would have been an insanely cool and definitely a unique addition as a new character to League. The second version of the champion with this paper theme was that of a rune mage, whose kit revolved around etching runes onto their surroundings and detonating them. While another really interesting concept, they ended up moving away from a champion like this due to various reasons, including the fact that Riot Ezreal admitted they just couldn't make a Librarian champion look cool. But that was 5 years ago. You know, the technology back then was just mediocre compared to how it is today, so I hope they could maybe find a way for Librarians to look cool soon, because this champion would definitely be a really cool and unique addition to the game that I would absolutely love to see added to the game. And while sometimes writers take inspiration from the League of Legends community concepts, sometimes they of course take inspiration from some of their competition. It's no secret that a lot of the characters in League of Legends are loosely based off of or inspired by characters in other games. And a League of Legends champion inspired by Dota hero Mogul Khan the Axe was considered at one point actually, but sadly never really got past being just an idea. Mogul Khan in Dota is a tanky close-range melee initiator with a really unique passive ability called Counter Helix that randomly strikes enemies that attack him, dealing true damage. This combined with his taunt ability makes him a really powerful character. While it would be cool to see how League's champion design team would take this idea and make it their own, it seems like it just wasn't meant to be, as Riot Ezreal said that it would have been a significant power balancing issue with a counter helix style ability. He said it basically had to be powerful enough to work in higher tier levels of play, which would consequently annihilate new players. Not only this, but he felt as if it would give the champion mobility issues, making him feel kinda clunky or prevent him from chasing. League's idea of an ability like counter helix is maybe something like Jax's Counter-Strike or Amumu's Tantrum, I guess? Jax and Amumu can both be built pretty tanky, so I think it's fair to say that we've already got some alternatives to this Mogul Khan style character, but it would be really nice to see if they could implement Mogul Khan's kit in a way that suits how the Riot design team wanted to work, while also having their own kind of personal take and spin on it. And this is definitely a concept that Riot Ezreal said was really cool and something that he was definitely excited about. Now I gotta say, there are so many different types of characters for champions in League of Legends. You know, humans, Yordles, Vastians, a whole bunch of other words that I have no idea how to pronounce. There's really just a limitless potential for anything and everything. And in a Riot Dev Corner intro, Riot August, who's a champion designer, he made Jinx, Gnar, Echo, and a whole bunch of other really awesome characters. He expressed interest in personally making a demon champion of some kind, which would be really cool. Something that's like really just a core straight up demon. You know, League of Legends has a lot of characters that turn into demons, or maybe they have like a demon form, or they're like part demon, but there isn't really a character who's just like a pure evil satanic demon type. I would love to see League's take on that sort of fiery classic style demon character. It's definitely like the potentially most likely character August was referring to in this idea. Another kind of champion that Riot August also said he wanted to see was League's take on a fairy type champion, you know, kind of like just like a classic fairy character. Again, it's kind of true that we have a lot of characters in League that are kind of fairy-like, or maybe they have like fairy-ish qualities, but there isn't really a character that's just like a pure straight-up fairy. And this sort of exploration of kind of classic character tropes, but with the League of Legends fresh new spin on it, is something that could definitely be really interesting to explore, and it's something that Riot August has expressed interest in quite a lot. There's really just so much potential for all types of champions to be added in League of Legends. We really kind of just got to keep our eyes out for the future and just look forward to Riot's next creations. So I gotta say, these champion concepts are super cool. I had a lot of fun taking a look at these. It'd be really interesting to see if maybe any of you guys have some ideas for yourself of maybe a great way that Riot could implement one of these concepts into the game. Definitely let us know in the comments section below, and maybe check out our first episode on this topic if you enjoyed this video. Either way, looks like that's gonna be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.